Have you ever read a history book that didn't just, list facts, but actually made you feel something, like the weight of past civilizations, or maybe made you wonder if we're just repeating old patterns?
Yeah, how does a writer do that? Make
Oh,
history feel, well, profoundly relevant, not just informative.
exactly. And that's what we're exploring today in our deep dive into Will Durant's The Life of Greece. It's volume 2 of his huge Story of Civilization series.
And we're not just summarizing ancient Greece here. No, we're digging into how Durant, who was a Pulitzer winner, a historian and philosopher, made this vast ancient topic so incredibly compelling, so enduring.
We're really looking at his rhetorical mastery, the craft behind it all.
It's fascinating because we're going beyond just the content and into the how. The deliberate choices he made, the architecture of his writing, that's what made it resonate so deeply for so long.
It really is like a masterclass in presenting history, not just as facts, but as a living story that pulls you right in. And for you listening, you are experiencing a unique two-host AI conversation powered by Google's NotebookLM. This lets us get into deeper, more dynamic book analysis.
Yeah, it helps us rapidly distill these complex texts, pinpointing those rhetorical nuances, things that might take a human expert ages to uncover.
So we can get beyond the surface, really understand the craft behind the message. Let's start by unpacking Durant's approach, looking at the rhetorical situation of the book itself.
Right, so the rhetorical situation is basically who was writing, why were they writing it, and who were they writing for? Let's start with the author's credibility, what the Greeks called ethos.
Will Durant, he wasn't just any historian, was he?
No, not at all. He was a historian and a philosopher, really known for making history accessible, but without, dumbing it down. He maintained scholarly rigor.
And that huge Story of Civilization series, 11 volumes, that must have built quite a reputation already.
Absolutely. That reputation gave him instant authority. But it wasn't just the name.
So how did he build that deep trust with readers, especially on such a huge, ancient topic?
Well, firstly, through just exhaustive research. He meticulously referenced primary and secondary sources. It's like trusting a chef because they understand every single ingredient and technique.
He showed his work, basically.
He did. And secondly, he was incredibly balanced. He really made a point of showing the diversity of Greek experiences, even contradictions, dissenting voices. He didn't present this single monolithic view.
That shows real intellectual honesty.
Exactly. That honesty, plus the sheer quality of his writing, professional, literary ale, it all boosted his ethos immensely. You felt you were with a guide who genuinely wanted the truth, not just confirming his own ideas.
That makes total sense. It's the how as much as the what. Okay, let's shift to the context. Published in 1939. What was happening then, and why was that timing so, critical?
1939. That puts it right on the cusp of World War II. The world was fractured. Anxieties about civilization surviving were really high.
So this wasn't just some academic exercise for him.
Not at all. There was a clear exigence, a really pressing need for this message, like a doctor scrambling for a cure during an epidemic, Durant felt compelled to draw lessons from the rise and fall of classical civilizations.
Believing those echoes could offer insights for his own time, spiraling into chaos.
Precisely. He saw it as having a clear didactic intent, wanting to teach, to provide lessons.
So a mirror reflecting ancient struggles to understand modern ones. Wow. Given that urgency, who was he actually writing for? The academics?
Yeah.
Or someone else?
He aimed broader. His target was the educated but non-specialist reader, people interested in history, culture, philosophy, but maybe not experts in classics.
Making complex ideas approachable without oversimplifying.
Exactly. And his purpose was really twofold. Yes, inform and interpret Greek civilization, but also, crucially, to persuade readers of its enduring relevance, its influence.
So inspire admiration for the achievements, but also maybe caution about the pitfalls.
Definitely. He wanted Greek history and society to serve as both inspiration and warning, making the past a living dialogue with the present.
It sounds like he wasn't just recounting history, he was trying to move his readers, get a response. Which brings us to pathos, the emotional appeal. How did he connect emotionally?
Well, he was a master at humanizing history. He didn't just give you names and dates. He painted these vivid pictures of people's struggles, their hopes, their failures, heroes, poets, philosophers, just ordinary citizens, too.
He tapped into those universal emotions that, they don't really change over millennia, do they?
Not fundamentally. He understood that.
Can you give an example? How did he use imagery or anecdotes to get that emotional punch?
Sure. Think about his depiction of Athens having two cities. The rich and the poor, always in conflict. That still resonates powerfully, doesn't it?
Sadly, yes.
Or how he captures the sheer grandeur of the Homeric epics, but then contrasts that with the deep pathos, the sorrow of a city's decline.
So he's stirring admiration, maybe nostalgia, but also sorrow.
Yes. Sorrow at the loss of liberty, or the collapse of ideals, or just the tragedy of human folly. It wasn't just about feeling empathy for them, it was a call to reflect on how those struggles echo in our own lives.
He forces you to feel the anxiety of a civilization on the edge, like 1939, maybe like today, too.
That's the connection he makes. It transforms history from just data into something deeply human, something you feel.
That's where the magic is, isn't it? Okay, so alongside that deep emotional pull, he also built his case using logos, logical appeal. How did he structure his arguments to be so convincing?
His logic was built on really methodical organization. The book is structured like a grand argument, detailing the political, economic, cultural, intellectual history in a clear sequence.
Like building it brick by logical brick.
Exactly. He didn't just throw facts at you. He showed how one thing led to another, cause and effect.
So showing the connections, how everything fits together.
Precisely. He'd show, for instance, how economic problems often led directly to political instability. He backed it up with facts, statistics, even testimony from other experts.
And did he use comparisons?
Oh, constantly. Powerful comparisons like Athens versus Sparta really helped clarify his points and highlight the changes within Greek civilization.
Mm-hmm.
His reasoning guides you, step by step, through really complex dynamics.
Making the chaos seem understandable through that logical lens?
Yes, it gave the whole narrative tremendous intellectual weight.
That combination, the emotion and the logic, must have been incredibly powerful. It really makes you think about his specific word choices, his style.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dive into his craft now, his rhetorical strategies, starting with language.
Yeah, his language mastery is undeniable.
Yeah.
He used this elevated, yet somehow still very clear, diction. He could mix scholarly terms with genuinely poetic language.
Not an easy balance to strike.
Not at all. And he chose his words so carefully. Evocative adjectives like golden age or tragic decline, grounded in concrete details, the siege of Troy, the gods on Mount Olympus.
And his sentences, were they all long and complex?
No, they varied a lot. Some were short, punchy. Others were these long, intricate constructions. It created this rhythm that, well, it both instructed and entertained you.
Kept you engaged.
Definitely. And he used metaphor and analogy brilliantly, calling Greek civilization the mother of Western thought, for example, that instantly tells you its importance.
And he brought in the classics themselves.
Constantly. Wove in references, quotes from Homer, Plato, Aeschylus. It enriched the narrative, sure, but it also massively underscored the book's authority. You felt like you were right there engaging with the sources of Western thought.
That layering really deepens the experience, makes you feel immersed. Did he ever use irony or explore the contradictions in Greek society?
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of his most sophisticated moves, I think.
Yeah.
He didn't shy away from the irony, especially the gap between Greek ideals, democracy, beauty, philosophy, and the harsh realities.
Like slavery or constant war or corruption.
Exactly those things. He juxtaposed moments of incredible flourishing with the signs of impending collapse. Think of Athens' glory right next to its later decadence.
That adds a demanding layer, doesn't it? Makes you think critically.
It really does. It pushes you beyond simple hero worship or romanticizing the past.
Mm-hmm.
You have to confront uncomfortable truths, even about a supposed golden age.
A very powerful way to engage the reader or make them an active participant. Did he have recurring themes that he kept coming back to?
Yes, he used repetition and parallelism very effectively. Themes like democracy versus tyranny or individual genius versus the collective destiny, these pop up again and again.
But not in a boring way.
No, always with fresh variations, new insights. It reinforces the key ideas without being redundant. It builds this thematic resonance, this cumulative power.
Interesting. And what about the overall structure of the book? Just straight chronology?
It's broadly chronological, but he was a master weaver. With each period, he didn't just stick to politics. He'd weave in culture, art, philosophy, religion, social life.
Creating a much richer picture.
A vibrant, truly multidimensional account. And he often used major figures, Socrates, Alexander the Great, as narrative pivots, grounding the big historical trends in compelling individual stories.
Makes it more relatable.
Much more.
Okay, so after looking at all this, the context, the appeals, the craft, what's the verdict on the book's effectiveness, its impact? Did Durant achieve what he set out to do?
I'd say he powerfully achieved both his main goals. He made Greek history utterly compelling for general readers, and he provoked deep reflection on civilization itself, its continuity, its fragility.
And the proof is in its longevity, right? People are still reading it.
Absolutely. Its longevity, its continuing influence, they really underscore its rhetorical success, the language, the detail, the structure. It was all crafted to welcome educated readers and those with some classics background. Accessible, but deep.
That ability to speak to different readers without sacrificing rigor is, yeah, quite something. And you mentioned balance earlier. Did he manage that throughout?
He really tried. He balanced the focus on, high politics and elite culture with glimpses of daily life, economic struggles, social conflicts, even the voices of critics within Greece.
So it wasn't just a top-down view.
No, he avoided a simple summary. He created this dynamic tableau. He even included Greek interactions with other cultures, adding another layer of balance. It keeps it from feeling one-sided.
Now, we should acknowledge some critics point out things reflecting his era, maybe some generalizations.
That's fair. Critics do note he sometimes, perhaps, romanticized aspects or occasionally used generalizations about groups that we'd view differently today. It reflects some limitations of his time, the 1930s.
Important context for us as critical readers.
Very important, but those moments tend to be offset by his overall balanced tone, his self-awareness, and his clear commitment to humane values. He wasn't trying to be divisive, quite the opposite.
Well, it seems clear the life of Greece lasts not just for its scholarship, which is immense, but for the sheer sophistication of its rhetoric.
He really did strike that difficult balance, informing, moving, and intellectually challenging readers, keeping the Greek past alive, vibrant, part of our cultural memory.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What can we take away from Durant's approach for how we deal with information today?
Yeah, his work is a great reminder that truly compelling communication isn't just about piling up facts. It's about context. It's about empathy. It's about clarity. It's about the how.
Exactly. How can understanding how a message is put together help you figure out what's true, what's insightful in this absolute flood of information we face every day, where everything is trying to persuade you of something?
It's a crucial skill.
Absolutely. For more deep dives into fascinating texts and ideas like this one, you should explore Mindful Moments on our YouTube channel. We offer AI book analysis there, designed to spark reflection and rational thought.
And you can find more of our shows on our podcasts as well.
Please do. Click the link on screen for the in-depth book summary of the life of Greece. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this deep dive with anyone who loves history or just powerful writing. And if you're interested, consider purchasing this profound book via our link.
Most importantly, keep thinking critically.